Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good Tuesday in the market. It's November 23rd. We're going to talk about the SPY, some GameStop, technical analysis, options. Didn't do a whole lot today in the market. Moved around the options a little bit. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Hit the thumbs up if you want to see me down 50 grand in one day. It's so awful. How could you do that? Here's our Twitter. It's at HappyMoneyYT. You're welcome to jump on there. And we have a Discord. I don't know what they're talking about in there actually. But feel free to get on there as well. We have our lovely charts here. I had a nice solid sell-off into the open. Right here, I said, buy SPY. Going up. No, this thing was way oversold though, so I think some of you actually did get some SPY calls. I didn't say anything, I just said, yeah, SPY's at a nice dip. But I think it's setting up a nice bear flag here. They're talking oil right now and releasing reserves. I don't know if it's the reserves that Trump bought up when it was cheap or what, but trying to stabilize oil prices. A lot of the market is red today, I think. Pretty bad. I think oil and some things are holding it up specifically, but at any rate, we've got this bearish MACD, got this doji up here. Today's candle was going to be red under the 9, but it looks like it's bouncing here. Got about 30 minutes to close. GME, biggest dump we've seen in a long time. Certainly was. I wish I had warned more yesterday on just how high the RSI was and how it's probably not going to keep running. I wasn't completely expecting this just because because yesterday it was ignoring it pretty good. I'm like, well, I guess maybe we'll just keep going. It can only go so long though before it has to cool off, and that's what we're seeing today. As well as we have this divergence now on the daily chart. We have this high and then a lower high, and that is diverging from the highs in the RSI. So that's a bearish reversal indicator, and maybe that's what we're seeing today, or maybe it continues. I'm not sure. I did dip buy, so to speak, today quite a bit, just because I think this is a very, very scary form of consolidation on purpose. I think this really is just consolidation. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, because if you look on the daily, I mean, we're looking good. We're bullish on the MACD. We've still got 9 or green over the 9. Red is over the 9. That's fine. Everything's good. We've made higher lows, grinding up here. It's just the way the price action is meant to shake people out. Because it took 2 days. It took that Friday and that Monday to get us up to there, and it was basically like half a day to erase pretty much all the gains. So yeah, it's crazy. This is a big down day. We haven't had this in a while. 12.7% so far. I kind of assume we bounce back to VWAP before close, but it doesn't look like we're going to do that now. There was a gap there that we filled in, which is nice. And there might be another little one. There's a tiny one showing up here on Webull. Not sure if it's accurate, but that's a 174.26 gap. I am not assuming we're going to fill that on this downward momentum, and I'm not even sure this downward momentum is going to continue. I'll tell you about that in a second. Even though, yes, there is this divergence, so it's possible, but even if we do come down, we might see a new high first, because oftentimes we'll see 3 of these RSI divergences before it actually reverses. Here's a good point back here. 1, 2, 3. So if you're looking at it like this, the divergence we're seeing now is different. That's a hidden one. This is just a normal one, I guess. So this was the normal one. We saw this one, and then it comes down. It's like, oh no, there's divergence. It's over. We got a red day right here, and then another red day. But if you're zoomed out, you'd see, oh, it's still over the 9 moving average. MACD is still good. RSI is fine. Then and then a green day, and then it's grinding back up. And then we have that final kind of blow off the top peak. And on that day, it's at the highest high, and the RSI is lower. Actually, kind of the next day, but It's not as good of a peak as these, but you can kind of get the point here. Even this day too. So these 2 days, you see it's a lower RSI. The strength has vanished, vamos, and it then continues to come down. And that day, I didn't really look at it specifically, but this day might have been, this was a pretty big day too. This was 284 to 220. That's $60 price drop in the day. Now, given that was from a higher price point, so, but today we're down $32, so about half that. We've seen double this, and actually it wasn't too much different. Double this. That was after a much more bullish run though, so I don't think we're here. All that to say, I don't think this red candle is this. I think this red candle we're seeing today is more consistent with like this one. See that? Isn't that strange? You look back and see the chart, it's like, oh, it's just so good. No, it wasn't just all good. We had big green days, gap ups, little green day, bigger green day, gap down, or sorry, gap up, big red day. So it wasn't all peaches and herbs on these runs. We have days that it has to consolidate when this RSI gets too high. So I think today could be a day similar to this, and then look at a consolidation day the next day. And really the RSI we have right now is actually much lower. So yeah, this kind of needed a second day even to kind of gather before it continued its run. Similar to back here even. Let's see, you can see some back here. Rip. Yeah, kind of right there. Where was it? I saw one earlier. I was looking at. I took a nap today. That's why I'm out of it and I'm tired. Price action. Like I got my dip buy. I'm out. Taking a nap. This was kind of on a downward momentum though. But you can see that this huge epic rally after. The Gherkin, the Pickle Man, I don't think his DD is necessarily wrong. The day I think was off clearly because today's our biggest day that's dropped. It seems to just always kind of happen naturally with the biggest hyped specific day. I think the DD is probably right though. These last 2 days we saw, 8-10% almost. It's 20% I think. Close to in the last 2 days. So those could have been some of the covering rolling over that we were expecting, and today could be a consolidation because still definitely continue to see more because the volume we had on those days was very good. It was 2 times 3 times what we had before it, but it didn't seem like enough to really justify all the rolling over they have to do covering. So we've got 4 million yesterday, 3 million the day before, and so yeah, I don't think it's over. But could be wrong. They could have somehow spread it out, staggered it, and that's what some of this was. And then we'll have to wait and see. You have to just watch the TA, and that's kind of what I was saying last week. Like I'm gonna be watching the TA closely on it because as hyped as I was about Tuesday and Wednesday, yeah, the amount of green we had on Friday and then Monday, I was like, well, we'll see because that RSI was crazy, but gave it back on the RSI, which is good. We're back down to 55 on the 4 hour. It honestly looks like consolidation. The only thing, we do have that kind of this divergence, so it's possible it comes down more. At this point it doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's probably going to consolidate maybe tomorrow some and come up, or consolidate and then Friday the half day rip. Yeah, it might just consolidate the rest of the week. Shoot. I did dip buy. We'll go over the options. I did get into some. I took some profits here. I got a little too excited yesterday, more excited than I should have, just buying into this super high RSI. I was just like following the price action. I was like, this price action looks good. I won't worry about the RSI. Maybe we'll just keep going crazy. That was a big bull flag and then rallying into close, very bullish. And yeah, all part of their plan. So as far as a low, if it does kind of consolidate and come down, I don't know how much lower, maybe 200, but yeah, maybe 200. But I don't know. It really could just be one of these days where it's a big red day kind of consolidation and it keeps going. Not a huge day tomorrow, I wouldn't imagine, but I have been surprised before, like especially this day. Big gap down, big drop, and then huge gap up, erased all the losses. Kind of how we did here, but reverse. No gaps, just really just big green price action. So we'll see. I think they're still covering, still rolling over. They have to do, whether it's this week or not, I'm not sure. The fact that we're kind of out of the wedge, to me we're out of the wedge, but logarithmically we're not quite. I don't believe. Maybe we are. This chart looks bullish. Lots of different media outlets I've been seeing talking about GameStop's price action, how bullish it looks, and how it's broken out of this wedge. So as we get into these higher numbers, it's going to get more volatile. We're going to get big ups, big downs, and that's just how it's going to be. We've always seen that over this 220. I think I've said that before, actually. That's funny, yeah. So yesterday's price action was pretty mellow for being over 220, because we've seen it over 220. You draw a line at like 220, it always seems to start getting pretty rowdy. You know, regardless of any rolling over or failed delivers or whatever. That's like what, like right about there. Anything over that, and just you can just look at the candles; they just get bigger. So big candles, and if it doesn't make a candle over that, it's just a candlestick. Big candle down. Look over here. Once it got over that, there were much bigger candles. I guess a couple little ones in there. A big one down. And then after it got out of that, it could kind of chill out and get back to its shorting algorithm. Big candles over it. Big candles, of course. So we might be on to, people are thinking of squeeze in January. Similar price action to what we had last year, just repeating. I think November, December, and February were the three months of certain things that line up on those 3 months. I can't even remember right now. But yeah, I don't think this runs over though. I don't. That divergence would be the only thing where it's like, okay, well, we saw our divergence, so. But so far it's not reversed yet. So if we have another high and another divergence, then I'd say, okay, that's probably the top. And that might come this week, that might come next week. I'm pointing back here on the chart because this is last year. This was November 19th, and here's the 23rd. And, you know, it had 4 or 5 more days of rallying. So options premiums have gone up significantly. So really spreads are better, I would say. And I'll show you what we did. So little loss pouring for you, down 44 grand today just on this account, and down 8,900 today on this account. You see that? Yeah. Not to say we didn't make money on this rally. We did. So look at the history real quick. Actually, this morning, remember how yesterday I accidentally opened like the 270 long calls because I was legging out of the debit spread. So I actually closed those this morning pretty much right at open, because I was like, if it didn't rip out of the open or even pre-market, and since we're even down pre-market, I was like, this isn't looking good. Because if it's going to ignore that RSI, it's got to do it with violence. And the fact that it was down a little bit pre-market and then it opened and was just kind of, I was like, there's not enough strength here to really to push it. So, as well as the volume was low this morning. You look like it was good for the first little bit, and then it just dropped off right there at 9:45. So we had 217,000. Let's see, 153,000. So those were lower than the day before. Yeah, because the day before we had 320, 196. So already the volume was low, and then it just got even lower by 9:45. So I closed it right around here. Some of it. That was like a $5,000 exposure, so I was glad I at least got out of that. And then other stuff, I actually shorted some calls pretty far out the money. See, bought to open, sold to short. Okay. That's weird. That's showing that next. So I opened up, this is for December. So I opened up next Friday, call debit spread at 330, 350. Kind of a dip buy. I don't don't know. I didn't think I did that first. I thought I sold short first. I guess I did that first. Anyways, opened up a bunch of those, 330, 350, and could have waited on that. I jumped the gun on that a little bit. It's down 46%. Well, let's see. Is that not? That's not really. It's a huge spread there, but it definitely is down. So this is I guess it's a risky debit spread. Not huge risk. $1,800 max loss, $40,000 max gain if we're over 350 by next Friday. So kind of just that free 350 price target if we have another pinch like we've seen. If it goes past that, my gains on this play are maxed at that 40 grand. So that has capped gains. Not a whole lot of losses because it's a tight spread. 330, which is high. So each day, if the price action doesn't go up quite a bit, this thing will lose value, basically. And then open up a big put credit spread, big, for next week. So max paying this week actually is 200. Last I checked, maybe it changed again. 220, I mean. Yeah, it's still 220. Max paying's at 220. I'm expecting us to close at least that high, actually. Yeah, I am. Open up a put credit spread, 217.50, 210. This isn't for this week though. This is for next week, I believe. Yeah. So open up that put credit spread. I thought I sold. Oh, here it is. Seems like I took a long time to do that. I shorted 280 calls. Oh, that's the put credit spread. Yeah, I shorted 280 calls. Wait. I'm confused on what I did. Let me show you on here. It's more. That's confusing on there. So I did the custom grouping on them. So here's the put credit spread. Here's the shares. Okay, and then I turned my normal calls into a debit spread. So yeah, I shorted the calls above it. It was the 255s. So remember we had these 255 calls. Wow, they're down 17% now. These were up like 200%, 300% this morning. And that's probably where most of the gains for today went on these options. That's like I don't know. That's like a $16,000 swing. Or no, 8,000. Yeah, 16,000 because it was up that much. But anyways, I shorted 300 calls above it. So these are making some of the money back. These are up 3,900. And I don't think I'll actually buy to close these because I think we'll stay below this. And basically once we get high enough, I'll just close this as a debit spread. And if we don't get any higher, I mean, I don't know, I'll just close out the long leg and let the short leg ride a little longer, I guess, because I have the shares on here. Here is, okay, so I did these also, or maybe I opened this as a call. I can't remember. I opened this as a debit spread potentially. Yeah, open this as a debit spread. It's down quite a bit, or maybe I legged into it. I don't know. Some of the stuff I've made free too. Last week I already made these 255 calls free, so this is profit from that. Because I had 16 of these 255 calls, and now we have 8. So I made that free and then also shorted into it, so that's a little better. But yeah, these for this week, these might be bad. This put credit spread for this week, we'll see. If we have an epic rally, that'd be nice, but not sure if this will expire out of the money. This 235, 245 put credit spread. And then this 270, 230 call debit spread, and then 255, 300 call debit spread. So yeah, and then we have this zebra for next week, and this call debit spread for next week. And then I did just get some naked long calls. So these are maybe my best bottom tick for today. They're actually up 6%. Trying to think when I bought. I got those somewhere around here, I think. So really flattening out here, coming into close, which is consolidation, but maybe consolidation before another drop, not necessarily reversal. So yeah, that's the way it goes. We are still up, I think. Yeah, we're definitely still up. And on this account, we're looking much better because this is just a theta farming, so little more risk management is involved. So I shorted the 300 calls on this account, 8 of them, and those are up 80%. Suppose I could roll those down to a lower strike. I'll probably wait. I'm not sure, because yeah, tomorrow honestly might be a huge crazy epic bounce. I'm not convinced that it's not yet, just because everything is still momentum. Even though today is defeating, the longer term momentum is still there on the 4 hour as well as the daily. And the hourly now, where it's so far down from the 9 moving average that it wants to pull back up, especially because the VWAP's up there too at 230. So I think that put credit spread will work. And yeah, because I think we'll close above where we are now by end of week at least. I'm thinking, yeah, I think so. However, there is that divergence. So who knows at this point? It's getting aggressive. But if the dip buy, if you're a dip buyer today, could have been that day. I did share a pretty interesting DD about the gamma spikes, not necessarily about the cycles or what kind of covering or rolling over we're supposed to see, but I'm not sure it's over. I don't think so, but no way to know. Have a happy Thanksgiving, guys. Jump on our Discord if you want. We will see you tomorrow. Peace out.